Good morning, good afternoon, or good night, and welcome to Command Power, the show in which we discuss all things Magic the Gathering with a focus on Commander. And today we have a brand new episode in our card Spotlight series in which I look at a card that I feel is underplayed or underappreciated in Commander and discuss its merits. But before we do that, just a quick reminder to please click subscribe if you enjoy these videos. It's the only way the YouTube algorithm really notices me, and we're currently growing the channel and it helps me a lot. Much appreciated. And the card we're looking at today is Scholar of the Lost Trove. For 5 colors and 2 blue, it's a 5/5 Sphinx with flying, and it says, when it enters the battlefield, you may cast target instant, sorcery, or artifact card from your graveyard without paying its mana cost. If an instant or sorcery spell cast this way would be put into your graveyard, exile it instead. So this card is a little bit niche, I will admit, but I think in the right decks, this is an incredibly powerful effect. And what stands this apart from all the other cards that can bring back an instant or sorcery from your graveyard or cast it from your graveyard is that it actually also hits artifacts. That's actually quite a big deal. It can be much better than just getting a one-off spell effect. You can really bring back one of the linchpins of your entire strategy if for whatever reason it's been removed or put into the graveyard. It can also cheat on mana. If you manage to get this out early somehow and have a stocked graveyard full of big fatties, you can actually reanimate an artifact with it, which can be really solid. So obviously 7 mana is a lot, and we do have similar effects. An example would be Torrential Gearhulk. This only costs 1 mana more than that. Now I know it trades in flash for flying, and obviously having the Gearhulk come in at instant speed is really strong, but the flexibility of this gives you is pretty amazing. If you run it with any sort of blue mass bounce effect, you're bouncing this back to your hand as it resolves, and whilst you can't get the original spell again because it gets exiled, you can play it the next turn for some extra value. So there's quite a few flexible things that this is doing. This is giving you a big boost on mana, it's boosting your board presence if you wanted to, or it's recurring one of your removal pieces or one of your big card draw spells if you're just doing instants and sorceries. That's all very solid for 7 mana. And coming with a 5/5 flying body attached isn't too shabby either. So what kind of decks would this be best in? For me, I like playing this in decks that have a lot of artifact synergies, such as my Joyra Ageless Innovator deck, where it can just keep recurring stuff in the graveyard even after they've removed it. Another example of a good artifact deck that this fits into pretty well is something like Sharuum the Hegemon, where you can just keep reanimating stuff from your graveyard. It can also work super well in any Urza or Mishra deck because they're both focused around fairly big artifacts a lot of the time. And then the other kind of decks that this is obviously really good in is in blink decks. Any deck that is going to be blinking permanents or making them come into play over and over is going to be super interested in a powerful effect like this, because you can really get a lot of value by returning this to the battlefield over and over. And before we finish the video, I wanted to add a couple of sweet combo cards that this has. It works really well. It works really well with Encroaching Mycosynth or Mycosynth Lattice, because that's going to turn cards in graveyards into artifacts. That means that you can then start reanimating anything from your graveyard. Any creature is fair game. And if you have a blink effect, you can just keep bringing stuff back over and over and over. And it's going to be very difficult to interact with and very difficult for your opponents to deal with. So anyway, I really like this card, and hopefully after this video, you will enjoy it too. So there you have it. That has been our card spotlight for today. What are your thoughts on this card? Let me know in the comment section below. I read all comments and respond to all of them too. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to click like or subscribe. It really helps the channel. And until next time, take care. Woo!